To begin with, I am not providing any type of financial, legal, or tax advice of any kind. This is an educational video that I'm taking a teaching or perhaps counseling or coaching approach to attract the right type of person and the right type of individual who has both the temperament, a nurturing quality of a teacher, coach, counselor, or um, a leader who has the ability to influence other people, someone who'd like to make a difference, and someone who understands being part of something of substance. Yesterday, I had a conversation with a friend, and we were talking about the past project. And when I mentioned, do not forget to give me your, tell me what you like about this current project that I've been talking about for quite some time, so that I provide information by email. And I basically stated that this is a project, if you take time to understand and evaluate, that has the potential to make up for any potential bad experience that you may have had. While this may not be for you, but you may want to pay attention. Now, the project I was referring to is a project, a platform that basically offer people the ability to acquire, to participate and receive like a guarantee return on a weekly basis, which was by itself an impossibility. So it doesn't really matter what the name of the project is, because that's not important, because I don't want to um, deter your attention to the non-essential. But the idea is that we have two different people. I have gone through the same challenge, learn my lesson, learn how to evaluate, learn how to do my proper due diligence, not just Googling things, but actually take part on a physical presence in Cyprus doing my due diligence. Met with the CEOs, the project or the lead project developer for about half an hour to basically get under the hood and understand the nature of this ecosystem. And because this project does not offer, say, a guarantee return on X amount of time per week or per day, most people tend to overlook that because of a long term nature. So let me bring you a different way to look at this project. Um, yeah, first of all, this is a real project led by real people. Okay, so let's take a look at this, for instance. This is not necessarily going to play the audio, but this is a video of my physical presence in Cyprus, where um, Yodi, who works in Americo Cash as a sales manager, um, was doing or did a transaction converting USDT to USD. And at this point of the video, she's already scanned your QR code, and then she's basically talking. So obviously, instead of me talking about this video, it's actually, you can look at it. Um, it was posted 3 days ago, and basically look for this title. And myself, Wagner, we are inside of the physical brick and mortar store in Cyprus, witnessing a transaction where I showed you inside of the store in details, in the back, in the front, to show you this was not just a Photoshop. It's one thing to Google something, it's another to actually be physically present in the store where I was basically just giving you a nice panoramic view of the store where I actually showed you traffic in Cyprus so that way people did not know that this was a photo op opportunity. I was there just for the show. No, I was there also to document that this project is real. Now, you don't get to be part of this wonderful ecosystem. And if it was a platform, first of all, you wouldn't get that level of details where you meet the people involved, and you would not also have the opportunity to be part of a physical presence. Now, you may see multiple videos on YouTube either now or in the future where someone can basically just Google the information and tell you about it. It's one thing to Google, it's another thing to actually be physically present. And you can basically watch the video in full and where the transaction took place, and it was after the transaction where she actually got the USDT, the USDT converted to USD, and where she basically was helping us to understand what was happening. So again, this was part of the actual store. This was towards the end of it. But more importantly, I wanted to show you that I was present. You can't do a better due diligence than a physical presence as opposed to Googling something. And if I'm not mistaken, okay, so this is another video, currently a store that is about to open in Germany, probably the largest store in our fleet of stores in a very busy location in Germany. And you can actually see that as well. So basically, this is a combination video where you have the store that is already in operation in Cyprus, where I was there, and then I inserted an entire clip showing you the progression of our current Germany store that is about to open anytime soon, and they're basically going through the final stages of this wonderful ecosystem. Why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this to let you know that when you participate in this ecosystem, you participate in something of substance. This is a real company, okay? I might touch on, so take a look at this and take pause to read this because I might touch on the technology. And since I'm talking about the company, I want to make sure that you understand that you cannot piecemeal the opportunity, this information. I'm not going to cover all of it, but in case I cover all or part of it for you to understand that this is real. Anyway, so I'm just going to breeze through because I have several videos that talks about the opportunity already. So just to let you know what's happening in our ecosystem and to give you, so we are operating in the world of finance. Okay, so banking, exchange, POS system, remittance, ATM, card issuing, and a process called tokenization. And I've got a video talking about that as well. And since we're talking about money, okay, we have two companies involved. We have Cashflow NFT, which is a marketing company, and we have Miracle Cash and more. And I've shown you that I was there. Again, more importantly, not Googling the information. I was there in Cyprus present. And it's very important because there are going to be people who look at this and wonder if it is for real. No, it is as real as it can get, and it's not a platform, it's an entire ecosystem. Two companies, Cashflow NFT. So you enter into the world of Miracle through Cashflow NFT as a marketing company, and cash flow simply tokenizes the assets of Miracle Cash and More. And Miracle Cash and More is led by a visionary who has experience, a trained lawyer by experience, but who become a technologist with years of experience, and through the through the world of finance, in a sense, you could say he was the one who introduced 65,000 ATM in the Turkey banking system. Surrounded by lawyers, technology professionals, business development, and world-class marketers. Okay. Now, this is not necessarily a presentation, but it's important to give you context as to why this is important. This is absolutely not a startup. Okay. Focus on regulation from the start. You know, obviously, being a lawyer, he understood that, and a technologist at heart, understood that the space needed to have mainstream adoption. To have mainstream adoption, eventually, it would have to be entrenched into regulation as well. Okay, in order for it to scale, it has to be regulated. In Miracle World, started in 2017. Okay, regulation was at the heart of the formulation of the company. The core system took from 2017 to 2023. Okay, and then the beginning of the rollout in retail, where I've shown you a store where I was, and I've shown you a video, and you can watch the rest later, where Germany is about to open, Cyprus is already open, and in 2023-24, and we're talking about wrapped tokenization. Tokenization is the process of you know, fractionalizing, dividing an entity or an entire piece of art, real estate, or a business, or world of finance for that matter, and basically fractionalize it to allow non-accredited investors to participate in a world where they would be excluded. And that's the concept of tokenization, to create a token that wraps the assets in a digital form that gives you and I the ability to participate, where access to such technology, access to such uh, uh, um, ability to participate economically, you would have to be an accredited investor to participate. Within the miracle world, okay, is a vast ecosystem that has been in formulation since 2017. Okay, from the core banking network, fintech, reward system, crypto ATM, web services, point of sales. Imagine at this point, during the pandemic, for instance, any business that did not have an online presence, okay, were somewhat forced to close because there was a period of time no one was going to a store uh, out of fear of a health crisis. So businesses that had an online presence that can scale to uh, you know side side pickups, where the customer can basically place the order online and then pick it up on the side, were the one who actually survived the difficult time. And everyone who went to this place has to have a KYC, KYB, and of course we have regulatory services as well as blockchain services. Okay, so this is just to show you uh, someone can come in, someone can interact with the ecosystem in a physical brick and mortar store in presence, or through a point of sale where you go to a local business, or through an existing company that is already established that uses our technology, and where their existing customers use Miracle Cash point of sale, either physical or online, global online, or through an ATM, a local gas station, a local barber shop, wherever people congregate in masses. So an ATM can be placed, or it's called an automatic vending machine, where you can have access to thousands of crypto pairs where you can do an exchange either from fiat to crypto or crypto to fiat, or through business to business enterprises, or through an exchange. So the typical customer who comes in contact with us can come in person through a third party store that uses our technology, through an ATM, or through exchanges online. So there are multiple ways. And um, none of that happens overnight. But the company has been in formulation and integration in establishing all the core competence that makes it possible for us to begin rolling out physical stores in multiple countries, specialized in Europe first before they open elsewhere. Okay. Now this is not a platform. So you first of all, in order to open a store, okay, money has to be raised, and this is where the tokenization, the participation in the membership NFT, the marketing company takes over the customer acquisition part, or you could say investor acquisition part, uh, to raise money through an NFT membership that gives us access to basically how to the multiple ways that the company generates cash flow on a monthly basis. And then there comes the construction of the stores, which is why I showed you Germany in the process of being rolling out. Then there is you know, the rolling out of the ATM placement. First of all, you got to find places, rolling out, rolling them out, and also have the ability to do the exchange as well. So by the time a master franchise is open in a particular country, before we turn on the switch, because we own our own switch network, everything has to be ready for the store to have the presence for someone coming through an exchange, someone coming through the ATM, someone coming through the POS system, and also they might like to also have a physical interaction in case of course they have questions. So it's not just online that they will have an exposure to Miracle. And our presence expands or will expand where it's already existing in the Netherlands, in Cyprus, soon UK, Spain, France, and Germany in just a matter of days or end of this month, Turkey, and the like. You cannot have a presence physically in any of these countries without doing the right thing, without having, especially bringing crypto to mainstream, to allow someone to come in, walking into a physical store to do a transaction, walking into an ATM at an existing business that has nothing to do with us, simply because they are using miracle technology. Or go to a business where you normally do your shopping and pay with crypto, or in some cases, you also can do it online globally. So Miracle can have a global presence globally because of Miracle Pay Online, or locally where they have a physical store now concentrated in Europe. So when you talk to someone about the platform, most platform resemble just like some exchanges. As you know, some exchanges that were not regulated were in the news recently, and many of them share the same attributes. Many of them where you can buy and sell, trade spots, and this is where a typical platform will come in and put together a website and say, oh, come trade with us, or come give us your money and we'll give you x amount fixed guaranteed return, either per day, weekly, or monthly, and then until of course um, they're no longer around anymore. Now, several known exchanges, as you can see in this list, share the same four features or sets of features. Only two have their own stable coin: Miracle and Binance. In addition to that, Miracle give you a brick and mortar presence, you know, cash, buy or sell in person, live customer service, crypto vending machine, POS system, or virtual, crypto service, and have not to mention insurance and wallet protection. You can't have that in your typical platform that are designed to last but days, if not a few months. In some cases, some Ponzi have even lasted a couple of years to allow them to pay before they start getting cracked down by local government. And this is where I bring you. This is where I bring you to understand the nature of a platform versus an ecosystem. Miracle is an entire ecosystem designed to scale crypto adaptation in multiple ways. Where else would you find a business that you could actually have the confidence to begin with, as opposed to having exposure to an online platform that you do not know the people involved? You can't call somebody, and especially to some platforms that only has their chat system being Telegram or WhatsApp. They don't even have like a ticket systems where many of them are slapped together in the last minute, and then they have either a Telegram group or a WhatsApp group for which can be shut down anytime as your support system because they're not designed, they're not formulated to last. And then my friend told me he does not believe in the NFT after some 72 videos that I have available, and in such a low key way that I'm explaining the opportunity in so many different ways. To some people, it is um, the opportunity cost that might be out of reach for them. For instance, right now we only have two existing NFT. When I started, it was UK at five, and we recently had the evaluation for UK, which I'm not going to talk about that. You can actually find that in the official presentation. Okay, right now UK is at 10,000. Now in 2014, um, the first NFT came to existence in 2021. An NFT was traded for 98 million with nothing behind it, just a digital image. Now, if this was the case, then without Miracle, then the NFT would just be a digital image, or you could say a collage put together to represent the UK master franchise. Again, when you view the entire presentation, you'll understand why this is important. We're now in the process of having a 3D version. This is a wrap tokenization. You have a 3D uh, where we wrapped the asset that generate revenue in so many different ways behind what's called a non-fungible token. By nature of being non-fungible, meaning that it's not divisible, it's not um, it's not you cannot break it down. In other words, you buy an NFT, or if for instance the valuation for UK is at 10,000, you cannot buy a fraction of one. Once you have a unit of membership, you have to buy the entire thing. That is what's called a non-fungible. In contrast, Bitcoin it's fungible because it is divisible by 100 million or 100 million satoshis. Gold, you can buy that by a fraction of a gram, or in some cases silver can be acquired through or by a fraction of an ounce, or even by grams. Okay, and so when you acquire a membership, and we have only a finite number of membership allocated to one particular country. In this case, for Italy, there's there are 20,000 membership available. Only 15,000 is allocated for sale, for public sale. The rest will stay with Cashflow NFT. And right now, because we are also we are a complete ecosystem, we have a technology called the Finnic token. You can actually take a look at the Finnic by visiting finnictoken.com, soon to be on CoinMarketCap, tradable that you can acquire. It is in itself a standalone unit, and Finnic is basically what's going to be used once ready. The white paper is available, so you can read. You can get all the information you need to know about Finnic token. But what makes the Finnic unique is Finnic is what I call our PAT, proof of transaction. Anytime a transaction happens through an ATM, someone goes and exchange fiat to crypto, crypto to crypto, crypto to fiat. There is an exchange fees, and that exchange fees flows 100% through the master franchise. Anytime someone who uses our technology, either virtual or physical POS system, that happens. Someone go to the exchange and do a transaction, there's a fee for that. The Finnic is our proof of transaction gas utility token. Okay, and uh, as transactions are happening, and they can happen in a physical store, they can happen through the exchange, they could happen uh, um, through our lending opportunity that comes soon, or through the POS system used by a local business or a network of businesses. The transactions happening are going to happen in any way and anytime there is, you could say, velocity, meaning movement of either cryptocurrency, of any time there is a monetary exchange, there are fees collected in the crypto space called gas, and Finnic is our proof of transaction, denoting that this ecosystem possesses its own, has its own unique core technology that makes every transaction has to go through a banking switching network, and through the switch, and because we own all proprietary, no white label technology, we can then process each and every transaction through our own switch network, and the Finnic utility token will be at the center of every micro transaction that happens. And Finnic is its own standalone product. Now, you tell me any platform where you have proof of where and how velocity happens. In most cases, they could have like a digitized Photoshop document showing proof of profit, proof of trading, but you have no way of validating that because it's not a third party uh, uh, document. It's a company document that could be doctored and put in the back office, and you would have no way of knowing whether or not they tell you the truth. Here, you have an entire ecosystem designed to interact with the real world through crypto. Physical, in many ways, physical. The store is a brick and mortar place you can see, feel, touch. The physical unit you can feel, touch, and hold. The ATM, definitely, you cannot process a transaction in a ATM without touching it. The only thing that is completely online is the exchange that you interact with. If you use Miracle Pay online, Either way, everything happens through our switching network, and Finnick is going to be at the center of validating all transactions. And this is also happening in multiple countries simultaneously. In some cases, different countries have different time zones, so you could have depending on our expansion or exposure, where every second transactions are happening somewhere around the world, non-sleep. While Cyprus is 7 hours away, we, while they're sleeping, we are still up. While we're up, they're sleeping, and vice versa. And multiple ways you can get exposure in our ecosystem, as opposed to a platform where you're likely to interact with someone or not someone. Some smart contract is formulated on the fly, and that gives you a guaranteed return, and you have no idea who's running the show. And even if you see a face that represents the company, it in some cases can be, or the face is shown can be an actor. Or if it's on a website, it could be an avatar, an avatar, a picture of someone, a picture, someone by a different legal name, but shows a fictitious name of actors, versus a business world first NFT that generate monthly revenue to physical brick and mortar presence, interactable or interoperable in different ways. Okay, and our own NFT marketplace coming up through the Boogie Gopher Club, where you can mint your NFT, see everything that's going on. The new Boogie Gopher Club is where you can basically track your assets, track the different memberships you have. Simply plug in your wallet with the club, so you can actually see how much, where, and how, um, and where the funds are coming from. And of course, you can see your assets. You have assets, a digital collectible asset in a 3D format that represents profit that comes from a real business led by real people, not some smart contract someone come up with and basically just push it just to generate a revenue through getting a lot of people involved. You'll be able to take part of a membership club where, several times throughout the year, we meet in person to do activities together. In addition to not only know the people you do business with, you get to meet the people in the community by taking part of activities that we have in person. It could be 3 days or a week long. You can't get that through a platform. Now, the business has been valuated, and I'm not going to talk about that because that's a different conversation in itself. And for the sake of speed, I'm going to pass through that because most people are not going to understand why that matters. Okay, and then through this ecosystem, you have the opportunity also to participate in our 3 tier. In order to grow the community, we have a 3 tier um, affiliate structure. First generation 10%, second generation 4%, and third generation or level 3%, where you participate and share with other people, and then you get to have a real time commission. Now, when you participate in acquiring a membership, the profits are not generated right away because stores has to be created in a case where a store is being created. Now, the store is not necessarily the only place where we generate revenue. We will generate revenue in multiple ways, as I've already shown you. The revenue can come from multiple sources, and every time activities are happening in our ecosystem, the Finnic token is there in the middle of each and all transaction. And the Finnic itself is its own asset in our community where you can even participate without necessarily having an NFT, but you'll be able to also acquire the Finnic token by itself as a standalone unit. As transactions are happening, okay, if in a case where we're opening a store in a particular country, the store has to be, we have to find a location, open the store, hire people, do marketing. At the same time, there are no transactions happening. But in other places where we have existing stores open, we have existing partnership, businesses are using our ecosystem, then transactions are happening. So you may buy a UK NFT, but you don't see any payment yet. At the same time, Cyprus is open, Netherlands is open, and Germany is about to open. So and then you participate in our in our ecosystem, and you have some Finnic token, and you are sharing the ecosystem with other people. Every time that you share with someone who acquire a membership, you have instant commission. And as also the ecosystem developed, Finnic is at the center to validate transaction that comes from the retail, POS, ATM, exchange, and soon with NFTs being traded between members. As NFTs are traded or trading between members and transactions are happening all throughout our ecosystem, okay? New country MFAs are in development. The people who come in now will have multiple exposures to multiple country MFAs and being able to track their assets on the Boogie Gopher Club website and, and know exactly what's happening. And we have a node system where whether it's a mini node or an actual full node, more details to come on that. Okay, right now you can participate in having an Italy NFT, which is at the moment it's not 39,000 NFT available. It's actually 20,000, but only 15,000 are available for sale. So anybody can participate right now in acquiring an Italy NFT at 1,000 a piece. Okay, and when you do, if you buy if you buy the Italy NFT and bundle until the end of the month, you get five. So you get 250,000 Finnic token. You get 10. You get 750,000 Finnic token. You get 20. You get 2 million, or you get 50 one-time purchase for each of the packages. There are no Finnic token giving as donation for a standalone membership. So you have to buy uh, a package of 5, 10, 20, or 50 at a time in order to give to acquire or perhaps receive at no extra cost the Finnic token itself. Okay, as we mentioned, this is not a startup. Company is well established, and more importantly, I had the privilege of meeting the people involved, and the privilege also visiting Cyprus and participated in two events so far, one in Vegas and one in Miami. So this is not something that I've actually Googled, or this is not something that I've just looked online and talked about. And you can actually visit uh, my YouTube channel and see for yourself. Um, for instance, where I've shown you the in the community, my actual presence, my actual presence at the event, the Miami event recently, um, and this was Miami, and this was me drinking coffee, drinking Turkish coffee at the office in Cyprus, and this is me and Wagner in front of the actual store where we did the impromptu transaction.